Times front page for Monday, March 27th, 2023. Thanks for starting your week with us. I'm George Gerbo. What would normally be a relatively low-key election for a seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court has become a nationalized referendum on abortion. Seth McLaughlin reports Milwaukee County Judge Janet Protaskowitz is actively campaigning on her pro-abortion stance, and abortion rights supporters have flocked to her candidacy with hopes she'll be the deciding vote as the state tries to figure out where its abortion policy lies. Her rival, former state Supreme Court Justice Daniel Kelly, is anti-abortion, but has taken a lower profile on the issue while accusing Protaskowitz of injecting politics into a job that should be about the law. Honduras has established diplomatic relations with China and ended its recognition of Taiwan. The development, Guy Taylor reports, expands China's sphere of influence in the Western Hemisphere and shrinks international support for Taiwan while U.S.-Chinese relations worsen. Taiwan is now recognized diplomatically by just 13 nations. China considers Taiwan, which is independently governed, to be part of its sovereign territory. People prosecuted for their involvement in the January 6, 2021 riot at the U.S. Capitol have been restricted by banks and from using fundraising services. Carrie Pickett reports those prosecuted of felonies and misdemeanors in the riot by Trump supporters say they've been treated like domestic terrorists. An attorney for some of those prosecuted blames the FBI and Justice Department for prodding financial institutions to treat them as such. GoFundMe cited its company policy in restricting their access, saying the crowdfunding platform will remove users that attempt to spread misinformation about the election, promote conspiracy theories, and contribute to or participate in attacks on U.S. democracy. You can read all of these stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page. You can also find the entire lineup of Washington Times podcasts at WashingtonTimes.com/podcasts. A House investigation into the Biden family and their foreign business deals is honing in on the web of business associates of Hunter Biden. Susan Ferricchio reports the House Oversight and Accountability Committee is reviewing Treasury Department statements and bank accounts to track down the arrangements. Investigators say they're looking at a group of family friends, Washington insiders, and others who helped close a series of business deals. In Africa, members of one-time ruling dynasties are either in exile, prison, or under investigation as new leaders try to claw back billions of dollars that they claim those families embezzled. In Zimbabwe, Robert Mugabe Jr., son of the former Zimbabwean dictator, is on bail pending a return to court on a charge of damaging property that could send him to prison. His mother, Grace, has a warrant for her arrest in South Africa, where she's accused of assaulting a woman in 2017. And finally, Valerie Richardson recaps a speech by Judge Kyle Duncan at the University of Notre Dame just a few weeks after he was disrupted during an address at Stanford University. The 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals judge had been interrupted by about 100 students at Stanford during an address March 9th. Progressive activists routinely seek to disrupt conservative speakers on campus, but the image of students disrupting a federal judge at one of the nation's premier law schools was viewed in the legal community as crossing a line. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Washington Times in any major podcast app. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.